Namaste, brothers and sisters. This is Jen, and we have our soul brother, Brandon. We've got our soul brother, Brandon, here, beloveds. So I'm just going to give everyone a few minutes to jump on the call. So I'm just going to just check that everything is on the right page, just while we just give everyone a minute to jump on the call, Brandon.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll actually pin this live video to the top of the page so that everybody can see. Oh, we've got 2 people on the call. That's cool. Okay.
Awesome.
We'll just, whoever's there, can you say hello? And just to let us know that you're here. Okay, yeah, great. Yeah, it's all on. It's all good. Brilliant. Okay, so now, brothers and sisters, thank you so much. Hi, Maura. So what happened was we set up this charity helping one person at a time, and the last person that we helped was Shannon, and then that was all sort of complete, and you know, we'd completed with that. And then I said to the universe, I was like, universe, can you send me the next person for us to help? And I didn't really have any leads or anything like that. But then I put a post up a couple of days ago about something about, I can't remember the post. I can't actually remember, I post too many posts. But anyway, I posted up this post and one man commented that maybe a homeless person wouldn't have that perspective. And then Brandon sort of responded and he was like, well, I'm homeless and I basically do have that perspective. And, you know, so it really, you know, it is based on the work that you do. Like, your perspective in life is not external. It's based on, you know, your internal sort of landscape. So then this whole thing kind of opened up with Brandon, where Brandon like mentioned that he was homeless and had sort of thought about reaching out, but I think a lot of people get stopped from reaching out because people think that they might get judged, or people think that they have or they have pride or whatever it is. But anyway, I think it's my understanding that Brandon was sort of like, you know, considering reaching out to the fund. But anyway, it was almost like the fund came to Brandon, really.
The way I was raised, I'm supposed to, you know, hurt myself and be sore every day in order to earn something. And like the pride from my parental karma it's been a big obstacle for me. And grace is something that we have to work in order to feel worthy of sometimes.
That's very true, Brandon. So Brandon, brother, can you just tell us a little bit about your situation? Like, so where do you spend most of your nights, and how long has your situation been like this?
Well, for the last couple of years, I've relied mostly on the kindness of friends and strangers, honestly. If I find work that needs a couple of weeks of effort with somebody, they might have a room that I can share. So like my job will come with free room and board, but once that's over, then the room and board is over. Or, you know, I mean, I have some really good friends here in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, who've opened their home to me for a stretch here and there. But because of the overall instability, it's been difficult for me to have reliable income to contribute and actually rent a room, and they're going through their own things, and I try to be as helpful as I can. Yeah. But you know, things are tough all over. And it's like, for my energy, I see my friends struggling, and me in the midst of it, like I feel like a beggar while they're going through hard enough times. I want to be the one helping them sometimes. So it's through no fault of theirs, but like now that the weather's warmed up, they're under no obligation to keep a free roof over my head.
Yeah.
And I'm perfectly willing to go out and camp and live rough. I mean, like, the world is my home. So I've never really felt homeless per se. I've always known I'd be okay. I have faith. Like, I step forward into the abyss and the universe rises up to meet my feet.
Yeah.
So I've always been fine. I've been through some very difficult times, estranged from my family. I've struggled with acceptance because I've always been a little difficult to be around sometimes, and I feel like, you know, I'm finally ready to like have my own space. I'm finally comfortable being alone, and to have access to some silence and actual alone time so I can continue this work that I've been doing. Right now I'm surrounded by energies that I'm not saying they're bad energies, but they're not mine.
Yeah.
And I need a place to practice a little bit more refinement so that I can get to work creating art, and I can more intentionally pursue my purpose without distraction.
Totally,
I'm really prone to distraction.
Yeah, I really hear you, Brandon, and you are eligible for the fund, brother, and we are going to go ahead and raise this money for you. So
astounding.
Yeah.
Bless all of you. This is amazing. This group, everything. I've been looking for some spots in the area. There's 2 towns in eastern Iowa where I live. Cedar Rapids, where my daughter and granddaughter live, where I would prefer to maintain, you know, residence. And then there's a little town called Fairfield where I've done a lot of work carpentry-wise and building things. And there's an inexpensive place to, you know, rent an apartment there, but it's kind of isolated. There's no public transit. The jobs are limited for hourly wages, but I've always managed to get by there. It's just getting into the place, the initial capital to start.
So how much would you need?
It wouldn't be any more than 1,800 to 2K.
So I'm thinking we aim for $2,000 for you.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I'd be able to turn around and immediately start giving everything I can back with the progress I'll make. I knew that this would happen. I just didn't know how.
Yeah. Okay, so
now that I'm in the midst of that manifestation, I'm scrambling to keep up because the blessings, like when it rains, it pours.
It does.
You know, everything's happening at once. So I'm really grateful for all of this.
So brothers and sisters, we're going to come together and we're going to raise this money for our soul brother Brandon. He's been homeless for a good couple of years and he hasn't had his own space. He's had no dignity of silence and he's always having to compromise his energy to be in somebody else's space. And I really like, this is exactly the kind of person that this charity was set up for. Someone who's free of addictions, who doesn't drink, doesn't have any active addictions, someone who's looking for work, open to work, is able to work. Like, you literally are the exact kind of person that we created this charity for, Brandon. Like, you tick all the boxes, brother. You really, really do. Like, you've got your SHIT together in so many ways. Do you know what I mean? And really that is a remit of the charity. Like, it actually is. So brothers and sisters, can we all just now dig deep? I mean, for myself personally, I've made an $111 pledge per month to Patreon. I personally donate $111 per month to Patreon. That is on top of all of the hours and hours and hours I put into this charity. So if I can be that generous, brothers and sisters, like everyone watching this, you can like send £1 or £2 or £3 or £4. Because the more of us that can be generous, the quicker we can help our brother Brandon. So what I'm going to say to you now, Brandon, is a couple of things. Firstly, go ahead and start looking, because we are going to raise this money for you, brother. Because already we've got £1,000 in the Patreon. Like, so we're halfway there anyway. And the second thing that I want to say, Brandon, oh bro,
sister.
Oh.
We're doing this.
Yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it.
World.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I turn around everywhere I look, I see people who I never expected to become aware, realizing the sovereignty of their own narrative. And then once we realize how much power we actually have, we can start sharing better stories as a collective. And then it's just steamrolling. I'm doing my small part, but yeah, I've been running on empty as far as the cash energy goes, and I'd really much rather be contributing than accepting this. But all things in time and all things in humble service to the one most high. I'm just trying to do my part.
That's beautiful, Brandon, brother. So I just want to say, so I'm gonna add you to our subgroup called Helping One Person at a Time. And this subgroup has been created with people that want to help people like yourself who are eligible for the fund. So I would invite you in the subgroup to be really super open and vocal about what your needs are. It could be that you need help filling in forms. It could be that you need help going through Craigslist. It could be that you want to meet with people in your area for a coffee. Like whatever it is, like this is why we've created the subgroup. It's in order for all the people that are eligible for the fund, that they're getting support, like multifaceted layers of support. Okay, so I'm gonna add you to the subgroup, Brandon. But what I really want to let everyone know who's on this live call right now is that Brandon is an artist, and I think it would be so wonderful if Brandon could share his artwork in the subgroup, and if we could support him with buying his artwork, because it's really his gift. It's really his spiritual gift, and it will be so massive for his healing going forward out of this traumatic experience to know that he's being supported by his spiritual gifts. So brothers and sisters, I really like just how we supported Tammy when we helped Tammy. Like we all booked sessions with her, like something like 20-30 people booked sessions with her, which really enabled her to be able to sustain her rent after that initial unconditional gift. So it's exactly the same thing with Brandon, brothers and sisters. Brandon's going to share his artwork in the subgroup. So and maybe even in the big group. Actually, we might let's just see how it all goes with the donations. And if we need to rustle up a few more donations, then we'll add your artwork into the subgroup. Also, we can put one of your pieces of art in our auction, and we can give that to Sean, and we can do an auction for one of your pieces of art.
I do have a couple of originals that are inches away from finished. It's just been a matter of acquiring the space to work on them.
So I'm going to hook you up with Sean. Sean set up the auction fund for the charity, and so you can just be in communication with him. So going forward now, so brothers and sisters, I'm going to put all the links to donate above this video. We're going to try and we've got to really go for it now. We've got £1,000. We've got to raise £1,000 now for our soul brother Brandon, so that he can, shift out of this situation where he's just crashing on people's sofas and not having dignity in his own space. So this is what this group is about. Like, this is not just about talking about ascension. This is ascension in action. Like ascension in action. This is what this is all about. Like, and it's just like, the group can't go forward. If there's anyone in the group that's lagging or is needing help, then the group can't go forward until every single member is looked after. Like, really.
I don't get to go home until I bring everybody else with me. Let's do this.
Yeah, exactly. Like if there's one person suffering, it's like everybody needs to just stop, and we need to address that issue, and then we move forward, and then we wait for the next person, and then we just get stronger and stronger, and our collective field gets stronger and stronger, and we're doing it. We're really doing it, fam.
And as my art sales increase and my income becomes more available, I can use that to return energy to the people who poured it out for me when I didn't have anything. And in that, I can prove to them that the light does what it does. I've been surrounded by people who doubted me, but they've still stuck with me regardless of them not understanding this manifestation. And when I can return that, it'll restore their faith that giving does return. So many people think that they're just giving and they don't get anything out of it. And I can show the people in my life that it's worthwhile to give. And it'll grow. It's giving is giving. And once you realize that you're always full and poverty is just a state of mind, you can give everything. If I've got two, you got one. And right now, all I've got is two, and I gave my last one away.
Okay, brother. Let's get this going. Let's get this fundraiser going now. I'm gonna pin this video to the top of the group, and I'm gonna add all of the links to donate. So we're gonna do this. ASAP. We're gonna raise this money for Brandon. All right, Soul Family. So thank you all so much for watching, and yeah, please be generous. Thank you. Lots and lots of love, everyone.